He's like the Buffalo Bills of his biggest fights.
Yeah, it's not a good showing. Come on, DC. All right, here we go again with another episode of Comic Books and Cold Ones. This is actually episode number 14. This is the podcast where we talk all things comic books and we drink all things beer. This is KMac, and I'm here with my co-host Yek. And if you don't listen to this podcast, he's gonna punch right through you.
That's right. Miniature KMac of Candor, Glass Little City there. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm eating tiny food,
Eating tiny food,
drinking big beer.
drinking big beer. Well, today we're going to be talking about some things that go well with beer because there's a little game coming up this weekend that a lot of people are going to be watching. But that brings us for the perfect time of year for us to talk a little something that we like to do called Superman Bowl.
Yes, a bowl of Superman.
So this is the one time of year that we will break down something involving the Kryptonian himself, Superman, the first superhero. Normally we don't talk a whole lot of Superman stuff on here, but this is the one we dedicate once a year for all you Supes fans out there.
Yeah, and we've read a whole bunch of different Superman battles. So today we're going to go over like kind of the, not necessarily the consensus top five, but like five of what the internet clickbait sites agree are probably five of the top 10 or 15 battles that Superman has had. But first, some formalities, right?
We got to get those out the way here. So if you guys are looking to get in touch with us, you can reach out to us at our email account at cbcopodcasts@gmail.com. You can send us a tweet at Twitter at cbco_podcast, or hit us up on our Instagram page, Comic Books and Cold Ones, and see all the fun pictures we post of our beers and related photos to these episodes that we're doing.
Yeah, check us out. And shoot us a message, of course, if you want to hear something or have any suggestions.
For the upcoming, Super Bowl, we need to know what kind of food you will be eating while you're watching the big game, and what food you maybe think Superman eats on Krypton when they're watching the big Kryptonian Super Bowl, when Brainiac plays wide receiver for, I don't know, the Green Rocks of
Green Rocks,
of,
yeah,
of
probably.
Kandor.
Yeah, Krypton's well from Man of Steel. Krypton just looks like a really weird place. So
Yeah, what kind of food do you think they have on Krypton for their munchies for watching sports?
looked like they have a lot of bird food, a lot of slime. Well, it's probably very grainy, made of minerals, lots of crushed down rocks.
Blue rocks, green rocks, no red rocks though.
No, not red rocks. Not healthy.
No, not good at all for you.
Yellow rocks. Yeah, and we want to give a shout out to some new listeners. I don't think we've had any downloads from Centennial, Colorado, but the last episode on the Scarlet Witch had 3 amazing, magical, chaotic downloads from Centennial, Colorado.
There may have been some probability building. Do you think it was John Elway that downloaded those for him?
Oh, yeah, John Elway, Peyton Manning, and
Jake Plummer?
I guess so.
Steve Atwater?
Steve Atwater. Ed McCaffrey.
Ed McCaffrey, who makes a fine line of mustards. When I was living in Colorado, I got to enjoy Ed McCaffrey's line of mustards.
Oh, who would have thought?
Unexpectable.
Yeah, that's
that skinny wide receivers like to make mustard in their spare time and sell it to you. But as this is a beer podcast as much as a comic book podcast, let's get ready to drink some beers just like we will be when we watch the Super Bowl. But when we're talking about Superman Bowl, we're also drinking some beers. So I'm going to let KMac drop the knowledge on what he's drinking today.
All right. So my beer today comes out of Wild Mind Ales in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Speaking of minerals and rocks, Wild Minds.
I know. I planned it that way. The beer is called Apocalypse Party Club.
Ooh.
Yes. We might be visiting the planet of Apocalypse today in this episode. So this is a smooth style sour ale. So I'm going with sour ale 2 shows in a row. The ABV is 4.5, is not bitter at all. Zero bitters.
Zero bitters.
Zero bitters. Um, and it is described as smooth styled sour ale brewed with blueberry, cherry, and milk sugar with waves of sweet fruit flavor and smooth, lightly tart finish. And it, oh, wait, the hops are, I can't even say this word.
Is it Kryptonian in its complicity? Is it written in Kryptonian script?
Practically. It's Hallertau Blanc,
Yeah, Hallertau. Yeah,
a
Hallertau.
green can with some skeletons on it.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
How how convenient was it that the Kryptonian script that they gave Superman also looks like an S? That means what does it mean? Hope again?
Means
How
hope.
convenient was that?
It just worked out well, you know? I mean, they were like,
I mean, Dorel gets lucky saving his only son, but he can't save his damn planet with the S. What's up with that?
right. Like, what if it was like a question mark or an exclamation point or a middle finger, right? What does that mean? Oh, it means hope.
Yeah,
Oh,
so. Oh, thanks. Speaking of the Man of Steel, today I'm going with a beer from a little place in Olney, Maryland. It's the Brookfield Beer Farm. I have visited this place, and they do grow little beers out of the ground. They start out as little mini candlers. They water them until they grow big enough. And some of them pick young, and they're only, 16, 12-ounce cans. And the other ones, they like to grow to full tall boys. So I'm drinking the full tall boys today, like most of them. But this beer is called Tall, Dark, and Handsome,
ooh,
just like Superman.
nice, nice.
it's it's a Schwarzbier, which is a German style dark lager, uh, and it's brewed with Carafa 3 malts. And let's see what the ABV on this bad boy coming in at. I think it's around 5%. Come off, yeah, it's something around 5%. They don't have any other information. I'll have to look it up. But it's going to be dark and malty and good for talking about Superman that is also tall, dark, and handsome.
So you have to send me some of those seeds so I can grow some beer down here.
Get your boys in Kandar to make little beers in their little city, then move them out to
Yeah.
the big side.
Yeah, I almost went with one called Sun and Steel.
Oh,
Yeah, but it was,
that like sun, like the sun itself and steel. That's like so
yeah,
apropos.
I know, but it was like brewed with, it was like a lager brewed with sake.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know if I wanted to try that,
We
you
got
know, for the
this
first
is
time on the
this is
show.
this is your time. All right, let's crack them. Oh,
Oh, goodness.
what color is it coming out?
It's all purple.
Is it a new form of kryptonite?
It is. It's, well, it's purple kryptonite. It's the kryptonite that makes you feel good.
Wow, that looks.
Yeah.
It does look like grape juice.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
So maybe it is Kryptonian Kryptonian juice there.
Yeah, it got a huge head on it too, so I got to wait a little bit before I can drink it. But it's a
That
purple head.
that shouldn't slow down a man of Kandar.
So how's your beer?
It's pretty solid. I like Schwartz beers a lot, and this one is like an exceptional reflection of that style. They're dark and malty, so you would think with the darker beers, you get a lot more malt, and this one really shines through on that end without being too weedy or too sweet, which sometimes they can be. But this one comes through, and it's not too. Sometimes they'll make it a heavy coffee taste, which I don't care much for, but this one doesn't have that. It has that nice smooth German sweetness that goes for the Ubermensch like Superman, which is a bad joke by you know by me there talking about Uberman and Superman. So
Yes. Bum bump.
mhm.
Very good.
Okay,
Yeah, mine's, it's a sour, but it's not as sour as the one I had last time. You get more of a beer feel to it, but it still is a little sour. For some reason, lately I'm just really into sours. I don't
you're
know.
you're just bitter for being so small in a little town, in a
I
little city.
am. I am. What I do like about sours is nobody else here likes them in my home. So
Really?
I
So
just,
no one can
I
touch
just,
them?
I just got to drink them all. Like, and I'll do it if I have to.
it is amazing the explosion of sour beers that has occurred in the past 2-3 years, as the style. So
Yeah.
the future, though, the future, you're hearing it first, kids. The future beer, you're going to get into more raw organic beers like Keller beers. So that's something hopefully we'll be able to cover it sometime on the podcast. That's the next style that's going to be big. It's the raw filtered in bottle or fermented in bottle beers that they make in Europe that America really hasn't hit on to yet. And I think that's the next style. So sours was the last big revolution. Then we had this hazy IPAs, but I think the next one's going to be the Keller beers.
The next Superman show will be next February when all of those beers you just talked about didn't come to fruition, and we can do whatever happened to the beer of tomorrow.
The man of tomorrow missing the beer of tomorrow. All right, so we since this is a Superman Super Bowl, we're gonna break down some big old brawls here, and let's let KMac kick it off with the brawl of all brawls that you know about. Which one's that?
All right, we're going to start off with the first meeting between Superman and Doomsday, which was back in the early 90s when we all know the end of the story ends with the death of Superman. I had read this, I think, when it first came out, because I have the graphic novel, like the consolidation of all the stories. And, so there's this huge buildup at the beginning. Doomsday's in this green costume with goggles over his eyes for some reason.
Yeah, he's very big into steampunk at the time when he comes to Earth.
He is, but he drops steampunk really quickly and just goes with like spiky bone skin.
Yes, he,
Yeah,
he goes from being a steampunk fan to a road warrior look really quickly.
right. Once he got out into the real world, he's like, wait a second, steampunk just doesn't go anymore. I got to change it up.
I'm a big Mel Gibson fan. Those road warrior movies were good. I want to be like the Humongous. Because I'm humongous. So this one took place, the big brawl actually took place in Superman 74 and 75 in 1992. It was a big deal. It's so big it made, like New York Times cover and all the major media covers because it finally did something I think that's really hard to do. And this is the reason I don't read a lot of Superman is it's really hard to tell a good Superman story. I think it's one of the toughest things to do in comic books. And this was their attempt, and they actually did something that you're not supposed to be able to do with Superman is kill him, and that's what happens in this. They don't kill him with kryptonite, which is amazing. It's just a steady, hard beat down by the
Right,
Doomsday.
right. Just like a 5-issue beatdown. And so they build up Doomsday pretty well in this. It starts out Doomsday kills a little bird, squishes the bird in his hand, then he smashes some trees.
Oh, trees.
Yeah, trees.
Mhm.
So obviously Superman has his work cut out for him. This guy can crush birds and smash trees. Then he destroys some streets and all that, and then um, he comes face to face with probably the worst Justice League team power wise that has ever been assembled. I
And
mean,
he trucks them.
yeah, he like it's not even close. Like this Justice League team is so bad. Their leader is Bloodwind, who like I remember reading like an online, biography of this character, and I don't remember what it is anymore, like, as I did it years ago. But he was just like completely terrible. I don't even know. He gets his powers from like dead souls or something, doesn't he? Do you know anything about
I
him?
have no clue. That Yeah, I assume he's been shipped off to GLA Antarctica by now because he's so shitty and gets run over by Doomsday so easily.
Right. Now, and I like Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. I think they're fun characters, especially Booster Gold. He's pretty hilarious, but like Doomsday just like smashes them all. Like, and Guy Gardner, he just like crushes his face into the ground. It's
Makes
pretty
him all puffy
hilarious.
faced Guy Gardner, which they draw him puffy face, but he doesn't look too much different than Guy Gardner really does.
No, he doesn't. But he was talking much less.
Yes.
Yeah, and he also like with Bloodwind, like throws him through a burning oil refinery. But he seems to come back, unfortunately. Too bad he
Yeah.
just didn't stay down.
Yeah. Well, he's JLA cards. So the Supes comes in to save the day, and they get into just a huge fight, and Supes just wails on him, doesn't slow down Doomsday at all. Just keeps coming. No, nothing that stops him. Gives him the old heat vision, high and hard, doesn't work.
Right. Flies him up really high, drops him down, nothing's stopping him. And Doomsday, for whatever reason, just seems to be headed straight for Metropolis.
Yes. And I love how they go through buildings in this. It just like just just wreck them because he's like super juggernaut out, and he just keeps going. But this is the seminal, I think, Superman fight. The if anyone had to say the big bad Superman fight, if everyone could reference, the big fight really takes place over two comic books, and it keeps going on and on. And it's the first time Superman's fighting somebody that's as strong as he is and as durable as he is. That isn't like cosmic level that we know about at least.
Right. And the one difference between this and the other fights we're going to be talking about, like you were saying, is this is the longest fight out of all the ones we read for today. It goes on for several issues, and they're just trading punches back and forth. And he seems to be hurting Doomsday a little bit in this fight, but not enough. And Doomsday seems to be getting stronger and stronger as the fight's going on, and Superman is just not able to handle him.
Gets more Road Warrior and Road Warrior, and the Hard Rock candy keeps growing out of his body. It looks like.
Right. He doesn't wear enough leather, though.
Yeah. Well, he's the more the mid-rib humongous type. So
True, true. Yeah, and Doomsday doesn't speak at all in this, except he only maybe whispers Metropolis, but letters or phrases that sound like it, not really saying the word. So you don't really get any glimpse into what Doomsday is or why he's doing what he's doing. And that's a big part of it too. Is it just there's a nameless, faceless monster that's stronger than Superman that ends up killing Superman. And I don't think you find anything out about Doomsday until Superman comes back from the dead, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong.
Well, as far as I can tell, Doomsday is just a tourist who really wants to see Metropolis, and a bird gets in his way and tries to hurt him, and so does a tree. And then a crappy JLA team's trying to stop him from getting to Metropolis because he's really excited to see the Daily Planet, and he just gets really effed off, and, and then just takes it on Superman. Came all the way across the universe just to see the Daily Planet.
Right, and that I mean, if a stupid Justice League like that got in my way, I'd be pissed too.
Yeah,
I'd throw a deer at their ship.
just bam. All right, so in the end, Superman dies, but so does Doomsday die? He just goes down, right? I can't remember.
He dies
So,
too.
he dies too. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So we declare Doomsday or Superman the winner of this one.
Doomsday.
Doomsday. I'm voting Doomsday. So Superman loses the biggest battle of his life, ends up dead. So this turns into the reign of the Superman, which gives us a Shaq movie, Steel.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Thank you, Doomsday.
Yeah. That's probably the worst thing Doomsday did. I mean, he killed Superman, sure, but a Shaq
A,
movie,
a Shaq headline movie, Steel. Most people forget that.
not good.
Which brings us to our next biggest fight, which is also, I think, probably after the Doomsday fight, the one that most people think about, and that's, of course, Batman and Superman finally going toe to toe. And Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, #4 in 1986, the big time novel, graphic novels written by little known artist at the time, writer by the name of Frank Miller. Really was, didn't no one knew about him. This wasn't a really big deal comic until later. People were like, hey, this is pretty good.
Yeah, I wonder if he's done anything else since then.
I don't know.
I don't know either. We should look into that.
So this one's one that takes place when all hell breaks loose after Superman gets hit by a nuclear missile sent by the Soviets, gets turned into a scraggly looking ragdoll looking thing, and knocks out the power all over the U.S. So Batman has to go into effect. Old Batman has to go into effect and create a vigilante team to round up Gotham. And Superman gets come back to life, and little man by the name of Ronnie Reagan says, we can't have that vigilante justice going on. Superman, you got to take him down. And Superman's like, he'll never go alive. And he goes, I don't care, Ronnie Reagan. And Ronnie Reagan sends him in.
Right. And what's weird is he'd been going vigilante a little bit before that in the book too, but when he has his whatever they're called, all the kids with the Batman tattoos on their faces, that's when the man gets worried out there in Washington.
Yeah.
So but they have a great fight, and
Sons of the Bat.
Sons of the Bat. That's right. That's right. And Batman, ever the planner, has planned this fight out moment by moment until
for years. He's been
for years.
preparing for it. Knowing about this was going to come to it. He knew eventually he was going to have to go head to head with the farm boy from Kansas when the rich kid from Gotham is going to need to bring down the alien.
And it's helpful too, like you were just saying, that he was weakened by that nuclear blast. So Superman's not at full strength.
Yeah. But Batman first plans out because Superman comes to town, and that's probably the best part where like Batman and Robin, the girl Robin that comes, they're waiting around, and Batman knows he's there, and Superman just shoots in the ground. Where are we gonna meet at? And Superman can't even see Superman, but Batman just goes crime alley because
Right.
the superhero and he knows to go there, and they clear it out. And the military clears out crime alley, which you would think they would have done that years before, and it wouldn't be crime alley anymore if they could just clear it out like that. Wouldn't that make sense to? I don't know. There's a place called Crime Alley. Might want to put a little more heavy police presence in that area and kind of clear
Or
it out.
or there's the city called Gotham.
Yes,
They seem to have some problems. Let's
yes.
let's clear some stuff out.
Let's go ahead and make this safe for a while. Oh, we're not making it safe for you Gothamites. We're making it safe so two superheroes can beat each other down.
Right. And they do it like right at the street corner where Bruce Wayne's parents were murdered.
And as we know, every time Joe Chill's gun rings, a Batman gets his wings.
He does. He does. That's so sweet. So this battle is what they drew from in Superman, Batman, Dawn of Justice. They drew
Oh,
heavily from.
well, I'm gonna get to that part because we're gonna circle back on that once I get more of this multi-fine beer in me. Because after we finish talking about this fight, we got to go over because it's not only this fight, it's the fight we just talked about in one movie, and they fucked them both up.
Oh, that's right. They do them both.
Back to back. But let's finish this fight, and we'll talk about how bad that is.
Apparently blocked that out of my brain. So Robin gets taken out. So Robin's.
So yeah, they send Superman in, and Superman uses his X-ray vision, and so Batman to test him sends Stinger missiles or like anti-aircraft missiles and hits
Yeah.
Superman and dazes him. That's how he knows he's not up to full speed. And then Batman sends in Robin in the Bat tank, and Batman rips that open, or Superman rips it open and says, "Robin, get out of there,
Go home, kid.
go home." But that was all part of Batman's later gambit to get another friend out, is to send Robin in. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, and before that, there's a message from Batman to Robin in the Bat tank that tells Robin what to do next.
Yeah.
So Batman right away, when Superman, before he even lands, when he's coming right down at him, hits him with a sonic blast from a gun, and right away
Yeah.
Superman's nose starts to bleed.
Bleeds him, and also takes out his super hearing. That way, Superman can't hear what's on the tape for Robin in the Bat tank.
Yes, good point. You have photographic memory, right?
I may be like Brainiac,
Brainiac 5?
one of the Brainiacs. I don't know.
Brainy Yek. There we go.
Brainiac.
That's terrible, but okay. That's what I should have named you on the intro.
There's always next year.
So then Batman taps into the power grid for Gotham City and grabs Superman by the head and sends like all the juice right through
There's a little
Superman's
shock
head.
treatment to the Kryptonian dome with all the power of all of Gotham in him.
Yeah. Yeah. So Superman's a little bit dazed at that point, and then they have some fisticuffs. You know, they go punch back and forth, and then Batman shoots acid in Superman's eyes. So Batman's just piling it on here.
All the tricks, all the gimmicks in the belt.
Yep. And Batman has another Justice League member waiting in the wings to help him out too. So what happens from there?
So you'd seen before in the comic the return of Oliver Queen, a one-armed Oliver Queen, and returning to America. And there's discussion among Batman of why he would return as long as Clark was still alive. And he goes, I want to help make that smug bastard not so happy once. And so, because it's alluded to that Superman took Oliver Queen's arm. They never explain why it is, but somehow Superman got rid of the Green Arrow's arm. And so the Green Arrow is on a rooftop dancing, takes out a soldier while it's watching it, and then shoots a kryptonite arrow right at Superman. And Superman catches it and explodes right in his face. In your face!
Yeah.
Superman.
Vaporized kryptonite.
Green kryptonite that Batman says had taken him a lifetime of saving up and synthesizing to recreate just for this moment.
Yeah, Batman's his usual Batman self here, planning contingencies against the other heroes like Superman. So that's neat to hear. You know how he's in the shadows, always planning for every possible circumstance that could arise.
Which have you ever seen the DC cinematic animated movie Doom?
Yeah,
Where Vandal Savage gets a hold of Batman's Justice League takedown files.
right. Yeah, that movie didn't make a lot of sense though.
Yeah.
So it's like they all seem to know that Batman was Bruce Wayne,
Yes.
and they never quite explain that. So I don't know, but yeah, that was the animation. Of that movie was really good, and they had their base look like the old style Legion of Doom from
Yep.
Super Friends.
But yeah, Kryptonite goes off in Soup's face, which makes him a normal human, which means Bruce has got the advantage because Supes doesn't know how to fight without his fist of full strength, which is something we've learned about a little later in another one of the fights. But yeah, he's back to being normal Kansas farm boy with no muscles and no heat vision, no flying, no
Right,
cold breath, no super hearing, no super slapping, just leotards. And Batman just wails on him until he starts bleeding.
right. And doesn't it end with Batman kicking him in the chin with
Yeah,
spiked
just
boots?
one big boot stomp.
Yeah, bloody boot stomp.
He goes, he calls out his bat boot and puts his bat face, bat symbol on right on Superman's head with a tread mark.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
but Batman's ticker goes out right at the time because he's already suffering from something. But Superman goes down for the count, and so does Batman.
right. And they reveal later that Batman took something, like took a pill that made his heart stop or heartbeat almost non-existent.
This winter, Batman also, right? Batman, not Superman, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Superman hasn't won anything so far.
Superman's 2-0-2 in his biggest brawls. Now, the two biggest brawls we talked about are the two number ones that everybody remembers. They're both featured in Batman vs Superman the movie, and that movie was one of the worst movies ever. So you had the two best source materials for the biggest things to make the biggest summer movie blockbuster fights of all time, and you effed it up. That's how bad of a direct Zack Snyder is.
Yeah, I mean that movie was so long too, and there's no action until the last 30 minutes, and they take these two and put them in the last 30 minutes. Like you could have made half the movie with these two fights.
And so you're having the big fight between Batman and Superman, okay, which is pretty much taking everything for everything, and then
Yeah.
you throw in Wonder Woman out of nowhere, and then you're like, oh yeah, Doomsday also. Here we're gonna Doomsday too. And you're like, what? The only thing that was missing was blood. What's his name? Bloodwind.
Bloodwind. Yeah, that would have been great if they put Bloodwind in there, just get smashed.
Zach, you should have brought in Bloodwind in a crappy JLA, and then I would have liked it.
The one thing they did do right is they did the nuclear blast well in that
Yeah,
movie. And I liked that better than how they did it in The Dark Knight Returns because he was actually in the upper atmosphere and exposed to the sunlight instead of getting it back from like
the
the
sunflowers.
the sunflowers, the photosynthesis.
Give me back my son, buddy. I love you, mother. That's what Soup says.
He does say that.
Because he says, I'm your son, or something to that effect.
Yeah, like I've taken so much from you
Yeah.
already, but I'm gonna protect you.
It's a very
Yeah,
giving tree.
it was very giving tree. You're correct. And he just sucks the
Shel
life out of that
Silverstein
area.
really wrote this Batman story for Frank Miller.
Well, I think it's the source material.
Yes, for certain.
And so that was a really good fight. I remember I read that, I think probably in like 89 was the first time I read that. Um, and in case he's listening, I loaned it to Jay-Z a couple of years ago and I'd really like it back. You know who you are.
Well, it's one of the it and Watchmen are like the two comic books you read when you're like, I'm a grown up. I can read grown up comic books now. And those are the two because they say dirty words and they show blood and they show people dying.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our third fight where we get to see a lot of cool people dying.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I really like this one. Um,
No, I hadn't read this one before, so I'll let you break it down. This one was totally new to me. So,
so before we finish, what do you
oh no,
think
no,
of it though?
we got one more before we get to that one.
Oh yeah, we do have one more before we
Sorry,
get to that one.
forget it.
This one has some bloodiness too, though.
Yeah,
So the next one is Superman versus Darkseid, and you can find that in the Superman Batman run that was by Jeff Loeb in the early 2000s. Specifically, the fights happen in Superman Batman 13. Now,
so that's the Superman / Batman series,
yeah,
not World's Finest, not any team up other than that. It's Super / Batman.
yeah, Superman Batman ongoing.
Yep.
So they had that for a while. That was a really good book. The first story was when Lex Luthor was president and they had to take him down.
Yeah.
And then this was the second story to that. So this is when they reintroduce Superman's cousin, Kara Zor-El, back into the DC universe because she'd been dead since Crisis on Infinite Earths. They an imposter, I think named Matrix or something, that was a shape shifting alien that pretended to be Supergirl for a while. But this is the reintroduction of Kara Zor-El into
I
the
only
DC
recognize
universe.
Matrix as the real Supergirl. Everybody else is bullshit.
Yeah, yeah. She was in the movie, right?
Now I do like, yeah, I do like the Superman slash Batman series because of the art. Yeah, this is when they first started getting like they got the color, the digital coloration. Like finally, I think they got it right to go
Mhm.
with the penmanship
Yeah.
of the artist, because they had been playing around with that in comic books since the late '90s, early 2000s. I think this is one of the first series where I think it like pops well with the lines, the print paper, and everything they were doing at the time.
Yeah, and this was a joint production, I believe, with Aspen Comics because Michael Turner was the artist, and he's passed away now, but he ran. I think he ran Aspen Comics, so it might have something to do with that. But the artwork is spectacular. He's just really really good. So everything is like art wise, it's top notch.
So there are a lot of dark side Batman fights going all the way back to when a young Yek was blown away, waking up on a Saturday morning, seeing the Superman Super Friends later series, and they brought in Darkseid, and you're like, who the hell is this Darkseid character? But
Right.
this is the one of the few comics. This is the one that gets rated in all the clickbait articles, so that's the reason we're going with it. And the one we read. So Darkseid, big setup is he's come back and he wants to get the power from the new Supergirl, and he supposedly kills her, which makes Superman all sad face, hashtag emoji sad face, and he starts crying. And then Darkseid starts gloating because that's what Darkseid does with his Omega effect. And Superman just goes off.
Right. He even tosses Wonder Woman away.
Yeah, get out the way, Themyscira.
Right.
I'm coming for Darkseid.
Right. It's so, and he takes Darkseid up to orbit, so they're fighting around the sun, which is important because that gives Superman
Because
some
yeah, they
extra
start off and
strength.
they can't. They start on the Smallville farm, and Superman just goes right after him, driving Darkseid into outer space. And Darkseid's kind of chuckling like, "You can't hurt me. You can't do nothing. I'm Darkseid. Anti-life equation, mf'er."
Yeah, Superman. Like, there's the one scene where Darkseid goes to punch Superman, and he catches Darkseid's fist, and then he just snaps his arm. So he's really like, all powerful at that point, up by the well, not all powerful, but super super strong.
He drives him right to the sun, where he gets all Superman gets all his powers, supercharges up like he's on nitro fuel, like the Dukes of Hazard, where they used to put Uncle Jesse's moonshine and General Lee.
Oh
That's
yeah.
kind of that's kind of superpower that Superman gets out of this.
Mhm. Like Mad Max.
He's ready to jump over any cliff in southern Georgia that he can. That's how superpowered he gets from the sun.
And so Superman has a boom tube still, I guess, from their recent trip to Apocalypse, and he just pushes Darkseid through space. So he's flying and pushing Darkseid at the same time, opens up the boom tube, and then drives Darkseid right into the source wall.
Boom! What's the source wall, KMac?
Oh no! So uh, isn't that the wall that separates like the like that universe, the DC universe, from other universes, right?
Yeah. It's the full extent of the universe. There's nothing beyond it.
Yeah. Except there is.
Yeah, like there's the amalgam universe, but we won't talk
Yeah.
about that today. But inexplicably, there's all these people that are stuck to the source wall who've been
Yeah.
trying to get out of it, which and they're a motley crew looking fellows.
Yeah. And so I like the story. The battle is kind of short.
Yeah,
Did you see the animated version of this one?
I have. It's been a while though.
Yeah. Very different though, because in the animated version, Supergirl takes out Darkseid.
Yep, she's the one that gets hashtag sad faced emoji and goes
Yeah.
off on him.
Yeah. That's what the S stands for, sad
Yes,
face.
sad face.
So in the next story in the Superman Batman book, or it might be the one after the next, Darkseid gets released from the source wall.
Oh, okay.
That might be fun to do someday. It involves like a whole bunch of reality hopping because two certain crazy people are playing a game of chess with everyone. Won't spoil that, but really, really good.
Yeah, so this fight it's okay. I don't know why it gets so highly rated. I mean, it's
Mhm.
interesting that he's able to drive the source wall, but it's the only one-sided fight. This is the one where we both I think can say Superman won.
Oh yeah, he didn't. Darkseid didn't even come close, and I
Yeah,
think
it
this
didn't
one
come on.
gets
So So
Yeah.
so Superman is one and two out of the top five fights we're talking about.
Yeah, and I think this one gets rated so high just because the artwork is great, like we were talking about, but the story leading up to the fight was really good as well.
Yeah,
But it also had a lot of Batman in it, and I think Batman made the story very good. Also, has Doomsday in it, at least
good. Yeah.
versions of Doomsday.
So
But
across the board, the top fight. Check it out if you want.
yeah, but check it out for the story. The story is much better. And the next one, it's important to really like in order to understand why they're fighting this character. We have to go through the story a little bit, right?
Okay, I'll let you break it down, KMac.
All right. So the next one is Superman or Superman. So you have, well, let me backtrack a little bit. So it's Infinite Crisis, which came out in 2006, which is the follow up to Crisis on Infinite Earths. So you have the regular universe Superman, the Earth 1 Superman, the old time Superman from Earth 2,
Pre-crisis Superman.
yeah, pre Crisis Superman, versus the crybaby, whiny Superboy from Earth Prime called Superboy Prime.
So this is the so it's regular Superman, the tree you guys are used to. Pre-crisis Superman, which is the white hair on the side. He's got silvery flecky hair. That's how you know he's old, which they never really explain. I can't remember why would Superman ever get old. He doesn't really get old. It takes forever to get old. And then you get hashtag bitch face Superboy.
Right. Hashtag crybaby Superboy. Yeah. So it's, like I said, it's a follow up to Crisis on Infinite Earths. So you have some leftover characters from that story. You have,
Speaking of Crybaby, wait, but speaking, how is that sour? Does it accurately reflect Crybaby face Superboy?
it does, it's very good. It's like I said, it's sour, but it's not like, I don't know, maybe it is. I don't know. I don't think it's as sour as the ones I've had before, like I said, but it's really good. I can taste a lot of the berry in it and the cherry too. Which what berries did it have in it again? Oh, blueberry. Yeah, I can really taste the blueberry, and it comes with the surprise too because there's still more in the can.
Oh,
I didn't know.
it keeps giving like an infinite crisis.
It does.
Unlimited ability to go back and tell different stories about how worlds collapse in on them, universes collapse in on themselves, and confuse people like me who don't read the DC comics all the time.
Infinite brew.
Just retcon. It gets retcon more and more.
Right. This would be called Infinite Retcon. So Alex Luthor from Crisis on Infinite Earths, Superboy Prime, Superman from Earth 2, and Lois Lane from Earth 2 survived Crisis on Infinite Earths somehow. Not really important. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Oh, yes. They are trying to bring the multiverse back because Crisis on Infinite Earths got rid of the multiverse and just combined everything to one universe. So they want to bring back their worlds from the multiverse. Specifically, Superboy 2 really, really wants to bring back Earth Prime and be the hero because they believe that the heroes on Earth 1 are all corrupted and they're not really what heroes should be.
They like the confusingness of the pre-crisis world where DC was a tangled web of mess where there were so many different Batmans and everything and going on. And then when they try to clean it up in the 80s, they don't like that. And who likes what happened in the 80s that much? That's Superboy Prime.
They are anti editorial, that's for sure. So once their plan gets into fruition, Superboy really, really, really wants to confront Connor Kent, who is the
The current
Superboy.
Superboy.
Yeah, the current Superboy. He came out of the reign of the Supermen crossover after Superman was killed by Doomsday. He is a lab experiment. I think he's part Superman DNA, part Lex Luthor DNA.
Yeah, he's a
Um,
clone of those, and he
mhm.
can't fly. That's the one thing I always laugh at him at.
Oh, is it like telekinetic? Is that what it is?
Yeah, he can't fly or whatever. Yeah, he can jump in those things, but he can't. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. All right, I didn't know that. And he also wears jeans and a black T-shirt with a red S on it
Yes,
instead of a normal Superman
because
outfit.
he's hashtag Skater Superman.
Yes. Hashtag Street Superman. Okay.
Hashtag emo Superman. But really, Superboy Prime is more emo than Connor is emo, even though he
Yeah.
wears the original costume.
Yeah. True. True. Hashtag Casual Day Superman.
Yeah.
Superboy Prime goes to confront Superboy, and really just starts whining and freaking out and ends up fighting him. And he's beating the junk out of Connor Kent just because he's Superman. And, Connor Kent is not really, Kryptonian. He's not all Kryptonian. So then Connor Kent calls the Teen Titans, Doom Patrol, and the Justice Society, I think, right?
Yeah,
Because Superboy is just not only beating up Connor Kent.
yeah. Connor gets just a whale down on him,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Connor gets getting." And the Titans are like really crying because like he's our best friend, and Superboy's like, "He's a fake Superman, Superboy. I'm the real Superboy."
Yeah. It's like, it's like, I don't understand why you guys like this guy, like me. Look,
He's
I can punch him some more.
he's basically Tom Brady. How can you hate him? He's a fake. I'm the real one. I'm the real deal. Which is what you're going to see when Tom Brady faces um, that
Holmes.
upstart Mahomes here. Hashtag bitchface Brady versus cool kid Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Well, you know, well, Superboy Prime proceed. Well,
And we see what Superboy Prime does. He beats the living crap out of everybody.
right. So the combined forces of the Teen Titans, Doom Patrol, and JSA, they just proceed to get liquefied. Some of them by Superboy Prime. He's punching through people.
They
Back
vaporize his blood and whoosh.
heads
Who does he
coming
punch
off.
through again? Who's the one guy he punches through again?
I don't know, but he looked he was red, and he looked like he was part demon or something. I don't know. I don't know a lot of those characters just because I don't read too much DC either. But he punched right through the middle of that guy. He backhanded some cat lady's head off, like like right through the middle of her. So I remember when I was reading this because I was happened to be buying comics at this time regularly, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm like, holy shit, he's just killing people, just killing them.
Just knocking him out. Just
Yeah,
bring it, son. Yeah, he rips a guy's arm off. He just goes off and yeah, to slow him down. Eventually, the Flashes all team up and
right,
run him super fast to try to slow him down before we get the two Supermen coming in.
right. And so they imprison him in the Speed Force, and from his perspective, he'd been there for years after he escapes. But before he escapes, he builds himself some armor which harnesses like even more power from the sun. So he becomes when he comes out, he's even stronger. And so it takes the but and before they put him in the Speed Force, he kills Connor Kent.
Yeah,
Like he straight up kills the current Superboy. So it takes the combined powers of regular Superman and old Earth 2 Superman
and the JLA Corps.
and the JLA Corps to take him down. Pretty much, they fly him through a red star to weaken him, and that destroys his armor. And then essentially, they all land on a planet, and it's more just like two dudes fighting a kid at that point because none of them have powers. And the Superboy Prime, he's just like he's nutso. He went nutso hanging out in between worlds, and he just like flattens old Superman's face. He just punches it till it's like red mush.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's a wailing and a half until yeah, current Superman has to actually punch him to slow him down. But he does on the flight there. Yeah, he punches he squish faces Guy Gardner, which is great.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Make Guy Gardner's face again fat, and then yeah,
Yeah,
until Superman like just drops him, which is just outside the old Krypton. Then the whole JLA Corps shows up with Hal Jordan even having a Green Lantern sling on his arm, and they had to confine Superboy in a tomb, and current Superman can barely stand without other people's help, and
yeah.
and and, and pre-crisis Superman finally dies just like Lois did in the previous episode.
And they have to build a prison for Superboy Prime in the center of Oa, the Green Lantern homeworld. That's also like they have like some kind of red sun in there as well because it's the only way they can keep him depowered enough to stay in there. And he like heat visions the Superman symbol into his chest like a true psycho. He's a nut job.
like a hashtag emoji. Finally, Superboy emo coming through, cutting himself
Yeah.
for
I
his
mean,
lifestyle.
so as far as the actual fight, do you think Superman won that fight?
I give it to Superboy because he kills a Superman.
Yeah,
And it
that's what I
takes
was going to
the
say
whole
too.
DC universe to take him down, and he bloodies the hell out of current Superman, and Superboy's okay at the end.
Yeah,
He had to be held down by all the JLA. He could have still walked around.
yeah, I agree with you. I think that although he did like technically get imprisoned after that fight, he did so much damage, killed killed Superboy, killed a Superman, and beat another Superman really, really, really
Until
good.
he couldn't walk. It took
Yeah.
everybody else. He was still ready to go. He's still like, I've got my Jones. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. And I want to read. I know there's another story later where he escapes, but I don't know any of the details. But then they call him Superman Prime because by the time he escapes, he's all grown up.
This story is as dark as the beer I'm drinking, and it's just as multi and emo-y. It's pretty damn good. This is finally tall. This is finally a tall, dark, and handsome Superboy I can get behind.
Yeah,
Superman I can
yeah,
get behind.
yeah. Mine is as sour as the
Yeah.
Superboy is whiny.
So Superman is 1 and 3 in his biggest battles, and if you add in the fact that the Superman versus Batman movie was terrible, I'll give him he's 1 and 4.
Oh, poor Superman. And there are some more battles we'll talk about next year. Maybe he'll do better on those.
Well, we'll do battles, whatever we're talking about. In the Superman Bowl, we can talk about all things Superman.
Yeah, true.
But brings us to the final one, the contest of Titans, the tussle of champions. I got that backwards. It should be the tussle of Titans and the contest of champions, because the
Yes.
person that I was trying to imitate is the only one, the boy from Louisville, Kentucky, the greatest of all time, the master of the sweet science, Superman versus Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Yeah. So this was a one-shot issue in 1978, up where Superman had to box Muhammad Ali. It was, and
One of the
surprisingly,
greatest comic books of all time. So
I
just
know.
give you a little background. So this is a giant format comic. I remember seeing it as a kid, like in the shelves, because it's weird, and it wasn't priced that much. Now it's probably priced a lot, but even as a kid, it wasn't that big, and they produced a lot of them. But it followed the format of, I believe it was 76 when they did the Superman versus Spider-Man crossover. So when I say giant format, it was like tabloid size paper, so they 11 by 17 size paper, so it's huge. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like a giant comic book. And then the follow up to that one was this one where they just kind of were like, Muhammad Ali's huge. We want to do this story, bring the two icons of America together at this time in a comic book.
Yeah. I saw a large format one of Batman and the Hulk once.
Yes,
Wish I had it, but I don't.
I remember. Yeah, these weren't that expensive as a kid, and I was like, I should buy one. You know, yeah, I should have gotten one when I was a kid. Now they're probably a pretty penny for a good version.
Buy a lot of beer with that.
Hmm.
And I think they get Muhammad Ali's voice exactly right in this. He's awesome.
My favorite. All right, so they have to have some, mechanism for telling the story. And Denny O'Neil writes the story, but it's scripted and drawn by the great Neil
Is it
Adams.
Neil Adams? Yeah.
Neil Adams. So the comic book is spectacular. The best part about the comic is the cover, where it shows Batman and Superman in a ring boxing each other. And Superman is wearing his costume, fighting Muhammad Ali in traditional boxer's trunks and gloves. But the audience is made up of actual real world people and DC people, and then the people that draw DC comics.
Oh,
And they have
cool.
a whole insert on the inside where they have each people's head labeled. And ringside, of course, is Lex Luthor with Batman in his Batman costume, along with President Jimmy Carter. And next to them is a little fight promoter by the name of Don King.
Oh, nice.
Yes, because he was part of Muhammad Ali's crew at the time.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So it's crazy. You get Batman and Don King sitting next to the president of the time and Lex Luthor.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, and it almost looks like,
Also in that group of powerful people in the real world and not real world is Sonny Bono,
of course.
who became a congressman. I think primarily because he was next to Carter at the time, was able to talk to him at the
Yeah,
fight
yeah. I
and
mean, they
talk
could
about
go over
politics.
some stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He gave him his plan. So the backdrop to the story is there's an alien armada waiting to invade Earth,
But first, Muhammad Ali's in Metropolis, hanging
playing
out playing
basketball.
basketball.
Yeah, yeah. And he's he goes, he's the greatest in the ring, He's merely terrific in the schoolyard.
But he gets hunted down by an intrepid reporter of the news WGBS by the name of Lois Lane and her videographer by the name of Jimmy Olsen, along with Clark Kent, tagging along for the story. This is
Yeah.
back when she went working for WGBS instead of working for the Daily Planet.
Bad choice. Bad career choice.
But they hunt down Muhammad Ali playing basketball with the local kids at the court, and an alien, as KMac was saying, aliens come down and lay out that story for us.
Yeah, and they're an alien race called the Scrub, which was interesting as well. And so, they say they want Earth's champion to fight their champion, and if their champion wins, then they'll destroy Earth. But if Earth's champion wins, they won't, because they're intimidated by, not intimidated, but they see Earth as the like second most violent world in the galaxy next to their own. So Muhammad Ali, like I can't remember what he says, but he says something to him, and the alien just backhands Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali's like, "No way!" And he does
No, he hits Lois Lane. He backhands Lois Lane.
backhand Lois Lane, and
Yeah,
then he does. Muhammad Ali gives the guy a punch to the midsection,
yeah, just
way more,
knocks him out.
knocks him way more.
You don't touch a lady like that where I'm from. And then Superman appears, and the emissary from the scrub is like, well, we're gonna fight your champion, and Muhammad Ali's, I'm it, I'm the greatest ever. And Superman's like, no, you're just a normal Earth man. They mean me. I'm Superman, the greatest. He goes, the best is Muhammad Ali's like, they want an Earth man, not some resident alien.
Yeah, yeah. And Superman's like, "Wait, I'm a naturalized citizen by the UN. I'm a citizen of every country."
It should be me. Which completely confuses the scrub because all they want to do is have a one and done battle, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Well, this is messed up. We got to choose one." And so the scrub leader's like, "No, you two are going to fight in a prelim to choose who's the fighter to fight our fighter."
And the best part is too, the scrub is like, "The reason we came here is because we've heard of you, Muhammad Ali. We've heard of your battles and your exploits."
We've heard of your rhyming and
Right.
your fighting.
He's intergalactically known.
And so that's the lowdown. So Superman and Mom Ali are like, okay, we got to do this because there's a Mata outside of Earth. It's going to blow it up if we don't do this. So Superman flies Muhammad Ali to the Fortress of Solitude so they can train. Because once again, Superman doesn't know how to fight. As we've seen Batman beat his ass when he didn't have superpowers.
Right.
And so Superman creates a ring out of nothing and then creates a distortion thing from Krypton to slow down time so they have more time to practice and also
Right. Didn't they go
recreates
to the negative zone?
it's some Kryptonian distortion field, it says.
Oh,
And
okay.
then he brings out like a miniature red sun that makes him weak. So Muhammad Ali can punch him and he's like, well, I can't punch you. You're the Man of Steel. And he goes, now try it. And Muhammad Ali does not slow down and just decks
Yeah.
Superman right to the face. To Superman's credit in the training, he takes it and doesn't get knocked out because this is Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, and there's a whole splash page of Muhammad Ali explaining his fighting style to Superman. That's really funny and really well done.
Breaks down the punches. Like the left hook is a right hook is a question that's never answered until you're on the floor, to something to that extent.
Yeah, it was spectacular. I suggest if you can find a way to read it, that out there, if you're listening, read it because it's super entertaining. It's unfortunately it's not available on any of the apps that we have, like the DC. What is it, Infinity app now? Is that what it
It's the
is?
Infinity app, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is giant format. So the splash pages are like twice as large as you would be used to seeing. They're huge, and so you can scroll around them and look at them. It's amazing. But it teaches them the sweet science. They send down some robots because they're realizing they only give them a week to train, and they or a day to train, and the distortion field is allowing them 2 weeks. So the scrub sends some robots down to, to speed this thing up, and then they get in a fight. Muhammad Ali punches a couple of robots, which is awesome.
Yeah, uppercut, like an uppercut behind the robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it gets to the big battle. So they drag them to the scrub homeworld of what's it called again? Bodise, which at one time, yes, Muhammad Ali says, we're fighting on Bodise, a bodacious fight.
Oh, really?
A bodacious Bodise. Yeah, he does use that line at one time.
That's
But
awesome.
they recreate kind of the red sun effect. Oh no, because Bodisei has a red sun, so Superman's normal,
Yeah.
and so they let him fight out. And so to decide who's going to represent Earth, they have this big fight, and the best is they have an intergalactic television broadcast for all the aliens in all the universe to watch.
Yeah, so they can shame Earth eventually when the scrubs win,
Yeah,
right?
and they let Jimmy Olsen do the fight play by play for the fight. He gets moved to the big time to call this fight, and then Superman's ring is Perry White as his ring man,
Yeah, with his
and
cigar and everything.
yeah, and Jimmy Olsen's like, I don't know why he chose him, and Perry White's, I was a Gold Glove champion in the fight, which we didn't know about that about Perry White.
No, we did not.
And there's at least three great Caesar's ghosts in this one, so
And so in the first round of the fight, it seems like Superman learned a lot from Muhammad Ali during the training.
yeah,
Um, he's moving around fast. He's taking shot. He gets a couple of good shots in on Ali, and it really seems like Superman might have this one. Then and the first round ends that way, and everyone's really surprised.
yeah. They're like Superman lasted, and this is taking part over splash page of Jimmy Olsen calling it out to the intergalactic universe on the broadcast with everybody listening. And then round two comes in, and Muhammad Ali just takes it to Superman. Just
Yeah,
uses all the sweet science he knows and beats the living crap out of Superman, including typewriter punches
yeah,
off
Fist of
of
Fury.
Batman right to Clark Kent's face. Also, Superman is fighting in his full uniform, Superman uniform, so everybody in the universe knows who he is in Superman format. That way, they recognize him as he gets his ass beat by Muhammad Ali.
Right. And they also said that all the aliens wouldn't be able to tell the difference unless he
Oh yeah,
was wearing his uniform
yeah.
because
Humans all look the same.
humans all look the same. That's right. Yeah, but Muhammad Ali just wails on him. It's like Superboy Prime wailing on pre-crisis Superman. It's just
Yeah, just
like
beats him until he gets black eyes on both sides, and he's got blood coming out his cheeks.
a blurry
Yeah.
fist beatdown.
So much so
And,
that they have to bring in a stretcher to haul Superman. Superman only lasts 2 rounds against Muhammad Ali.
so Muhammad Ali, after he's done giving him the beatdown, he just turns around and walks away, and Superman's just standing there, and there's like must be a few second pause, and Superman just falls on his face.
Boom, 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 boom.
That was a fun read for sure.
So by far Ali beats the living crap out of Superman. Eventually they do for the I don't want to do all the spoilers, but he does eventually have to fight the alien race's champion Muhammad Ali. Calls that he's going to be the aliens champion, who's like a giant alien. That he's going to beat him in the fourth round. Beats the living crap out of the alien in the fourth round, and then they have this big takedown where the alien champion gets upset with his ruler because they're going to blow up Earth anyway. And this is my favorite part. He goes, the alien champion revolts and kills or attacks the ruler, and he goes, "You've disgraced the name Scrub in all the universe," which I do believe is where TLC gets their reason for their song Scrubs.
Yeah,
I
they don't
don't
want
want
no
no
scrubs.
scrubs. They don't want anyone that would go against Muhammad Ali winning.
Right. They don't want those guys hang out of the passenger side of their
So,
best friend's
he's
ride all the
right.
time. And they're hollering at
Trying to
everyone.
holler at me, man. I'm telling
No,
you, that's what's happening. That's the reason they. This is where it came from.
you don't want no scrubs.
Yeah, they realized that alien race can be trusted
Yeah.
because they had their name disgraced after they got whooped by Muhammad Ali and try to blow up Earth anyway.
Yeah. Who knew TLC liked this book? I didn't
Yeah,
know.
I didn't know that. Left Eye Lopez, I think she's the one that probably, or was it Chili or T Boss? I don't know. I don't know.
Probably all of them. They're really cool.
It was a giant size format.
Yeah. Yeah. Muhammad Ali, too. I mean,
Height of fame. But once again, Superman loses one of his biggest fights of all time. So officially in the top five clickbait fights, he's 1 in 4.
yeah, it's not a good record. No.
As the most powerful superhero of all time, unstoppable, has no flaws except for magic. None of these guys use magic to beat his ass.
True. True. Ooh. I don't think it can be like I feel like it can only really be a good fight if he loses
Yeah.
because he's so strong. He wins so many other fights. Like, yeah, I'm not impressed with Superman. Sorry, Superman.
This is your Superman Super Bowl, or Super Bowl Superman, Superman Super Bowl. You're
Super
losing
Superman
all
Bowl.
these.
Yeah, yeah, it's not a good showing. Come on, DC.
I mean, he's like the Buffalo Bills of his biggest fights.
He is. He should have beat Batman in The Dark Knight Returns. He should have probably beaten Superboy Prime.
He had everybody with him.
Yeah,
He should have beat Doomsday, even with Bloodwind backing him up, or Bloodwings backing him up. Whatever that guy's name is.
yeah. Whatever, whoever. I don't think. No, honestly, I think he was in like the JLA a little bit longer, and then something happened. He was out, and I don't think he's been in anything since. If my recollection is
What?
correct.
Because he got transferred to JLA Antarctica.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Handle all our Antarctica missions that pop up.
Yes. If there's blood in the wind, we'll call you. But otherwise, just hang tight.
Yep, by far, Ollie beats his ass too. So, yeah, doesn't have any fight training. Superman's got to maybe start doing some fight training.
Yeah. Spend more time in a red sun. Do
Yeah,
some fight training.
maybe
Yeah.
if Muhammad Ali or somebody ever comes back to life, they can help train him to fight better. Probably Ali's the only one that ever trained him to fight. Batman didn't. Batman knew if he ever went bad, he had to take him down.
Right. Batman would never train him to fight. Too dangerous. Batman's smarter than that. Yeah. Yeah. But like kind of disappointing, right?
Super disappointing, Superman.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I really thought he like, and I know we read these beforehand, but I just really thought he'd win some of these.
You were hoping. The Man of Steel, the Man of Tomorrow, the Kryptonian's favorite son.
Right.
He's gonna come through, but no, easy to whoop.
All right. Out of these stories, which one did you like the best? Yeah.
It's either Superboy versus Superman or Superman versus Ali, and I'm gonna go with Superman versus Ali, just because I like that '70s kitsch, and that cover with all the people in it is just entertaining to like follow through, because they do the thing where they have the blank holes with the numbers and you have to look up the people and you're like, oh, that's what he is, that's what he is, and scrub in the fact that TLC drew on it to make such a great song.
They sure did. Classic.
Yeah.
Classic. I like that one too. I would like to probably read it again just so I could catch some more of that, of like the, Muhammad Ali's lines and some of the little inside jokes. But I think my favorite is probably the Superboy Prime because they really built him up as someone really dangerous and out of control. And they don't normally, Doomsday didn't have any build up. And I did like the Superman Batman one as well, but it was a small part of a much bigger story. But Superboy Prime was, universal threat for sure. Like he was going to fly through the center of Oa, destroy Oa to reset the multiverse, even after his plan with Alex Luthor failed. So I think the stakes were a lot higher in that one than in any of the other ones, except the Ali one had pretty high stakes too. Thank goodness Muhammad Ali was there.
The future of the world. Thank God we had Muhammad Ali, the greatest champion of all time. And that's
I
how I'm
know.
rating my beer. I'm rating it Ali Superman beat down.
Yeah.
It's
No,
dark. It's the other tall, dark, and handsome. That's Muhammad Ali, the greatest.
that's a good one. I like that rating. So I'm going to rate my beer, which poured out purple, it's gone now, from a green can, as as good as Guy Gardner's face looks when he gets smashed into the ground. Purple face, green outfit.
Purple face, green outfit.
Yes.
Sweet.
So, who's your actual Super Bowl pick?
I am going to. I'm going Connor Kent, Mahomes.
Yeah,
I think. I think it's going to be close though. I think it's going to come down to the fourth quarter, but I think it's going to be like Superman blowing it, because Tom Brady Superman's going to blow it.
think
He's
so.
going to lose 1 out of 4 of these fights to the new upstart.
Yeah, he might. And so I'm down here in Tampa, so like I'm completely shocked that they're in the Super Bowl. It's great though. Um, I think they can pull it off, but I'm expecting the Chiefs to win. They're just too good. Last time Bucks played the Chiefs, they gave up 200 passing yards to Tyreek Hill in the first quarter. Quarter. The first quarter. But I mean, their pass defense should be healthy by next week. So
He is also a superhero, the Cheetah, and he's
yes,
played by what's her name in the new Wonder Woman movie, which is interesting. An interesting choice to play Tyreek Hill in a movie.
yeah, I think so too.
Going with the comedic, what's her name?
Kristen Wiig. There we
Yeah,
go.
going with Kristen Wiig to play Tyreek Hill in the Wonder Woman 1984 movie. Interesting choice. Interesting. So we don't always have time to do this because we sometimes ramble on to them. What do you read right now?
Oh man, what am I reading right now? I'm not really reading much of anything. I'll let you go first while I think.
I just finished up the Garth Ennis Seven Soldiers series from the early 2000s, like 2005. So I hadn't read it. It's a fun, weird read because it involves multiple heroes coming in, B list DC heroes coming in to defeat like a weird future version of humanity that's taking place over all of time. And it's worth the read because it's just fun because it involves Zantana, Clarion, the Bulleteer, Frankenstein, Mister Miracle, all these people that don't relate to anywhere, like kind of bring together. It does kind of miss some points at the end where you're kind of left scratching your head, but it's kind of interesting. But it finally describes what Solomon Grundy is, and you find out what a Solomon Grundy is, and you find out Frankenstein's also a Grundy man, which is interesting. So
Oh,
it's
interesting.
weird.
So after reading all the Wanda stuff for the last podcast, and then watching WandaVision, and then reading all these Superman beatdowns for this one, haven't started out reading anything yet. But I'm going to this week start reading the Ten of Swords crossover, the new X-Men crossover. Looking forward to that. And I've read so the Cable issue leading up to that has Space Knights in it.
Rom,
Yeah, yeah, but not Rom,
bringing it
just other
back.
Space Knights. I don't think they have the rights to publish Rom anymore, but all the Space Knights that they created during Rom's run, they can use those. So yeah, they had some Space Knights. I was super
And you
surprised.
know, you
Space
know
Knights.
why they don't have
Yeah,
the rights to publish Space Knights Rom, right?
I do, but I can't remember why.
Because he starts out as a toy,
Yes, I knew that.
and they gave the licensing right to Marvel to give him a reason to have the toy. So they came up with it.
Yeah, there's another publisher that has the rights now, and they put out a Rom book recently.
Bring back Rom to the Marvel.
Yeah, yeah. And I have been rebagging and reboarding some of my old books, so I've looked through a lot of those, like my old Claremont X Men's,
Classics.
yeah, classics. But trying to reread those, they hold a special place in my heart. But rereading them now is like, oh man, they're hard. There's so much dialogue and so much narrator.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing about Claremont is there's like so many tendrils of storylines that go off and never go anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I loved about it is the
Yeah.
tendrils of storylines. But then when he left the book, a lot of those never got picked up. But what would be when I was young, what I'd love is a character would be out for so long, or there'd be a new character, and they debut in like one panel on one page, and then you wouldn't see him again for like 5 issues, and then they'd be a page, and then you wouldn't see him again for like months, and then they'd be like it would slowly develop. There was a very, a slow cook to his storytelling, and I like that when I was younger, and it's still nice now, but it's hard when they don't pick up on those tendrils. So
Yeah.
that's what makes it unenjoyable because you're wondering. Then someone picks them up later, and it's garbage. Like when they picked up the 12 in the late '90s,
Yeah.
garbage, not good, not good. But yeah,
Okay.
so I got a chance to thumb through some of those, and it was fun.
Awesome. Are you drinking any other good beers right now?
Oh, I have a fridge full of beers. Oh man,
Are you drinking a whole fridge full of beers?
I am. I'm going to send you a picture. It's full. We went to Asheville, and I didn't get to go to any breweries because we had the kids with us. But I picked up like another. I picked up like a blackberry lime sour, which is really good, and all for me.
And Asheville is now, I think, probably the eastern mecca now of craft brewing.
Makes sense.
You have the West Coast with the San Francisco and Portland areas, and then you have Denver, and then you have Michigan and Asheville. Well, you have microbreweries all up and down the coast. Really, Asheville's been the conglomerating, like the what started as microbreweries are now whatever you want to call them, mid-range breweries, but they've also had all the microbreweries there also kind of conglomerating. So Asheville's where Cigar City, when they got bought out by Oscar Blues, now has their main production facility for everything that's made from Oscar Blues in Colorado, and also for Cigar City.
Oh, nice. Sure. The
Outside
Cigar
of that's
City.
not, it's also his main Tampa, yeah, the Tampa stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Florida Cracker is a good beer. I like that one.
Big deal, good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was a good breakdown of Superman's greatest fights and how Superman is not very good at fighting.
Yeah. We should just call it Muhammad Ali, Superboy Prime, Doomsday, and Batman's greatest fights.
Well, I'm getting ready to pin a little story called Superboy Prime versus Muhammad Ali.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that wouldn't even be close. That'd be worse than this one. He would just be crying and he would just get one punch in the face. That's it.
And you won, and you little kid. You're Prime. I'm about to turn you into USAD Prime, USDA Prime.
Yeah. Yeah, he has all that crybaby rage though.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, this is Yek signing out. KMac, good as always.
Yep, KMac signing out. Don't forget to download and give us a rating if you enjoyed the podcast, and hit us up on our social medias or send us an email and let you know what you think, and give us some ideas, anything you want to hear. We're up for the challenge, especially the beer challenge.
Shrinking back down to condor size. Bye, everybody.
All right, see you later, everyone.